Well, another day, another 50 cent. We are doing a thing today, and this is a thing I'm going to be doing today. Dogs barking, screaming, birds. I don't know what the birds are screaming about. Dogs are barking at nothing. Anyway, here we go. I've gone through my nest of wires and I have found this piece of wire with a terminal end on it. It sticks down here on the positive terminal of the coil to the AC compressor. And here I've got hooked up to the negative side of the coil. And I'm going to take that. It's really dark in here, but I'm going to take that. When I tore the Bronco apart, threw the entire engine harness, chassis harness, and everything into one big box. Well, it's not entirely true. I cut all the ends off the wire harness. And I left 6 to 8 inches where I could, and I put it all in here. That was pretty ruthless. So I got a bunch of stuff like this, just in case. Fingers crossed, I never know when I might need it again. It's always my intention to try to make the air conditioning work in that thing. I'm finally getting to it. I went to go put the AC compressor in and the hose, the pressure line and all that good stuff, but the pressure line was all dry rotted to crap, so I bought a new one. I think I still need some more rings though, because I think it's going to leak. Other than that, the wiring was scaring the crap out of me because I couldn't find a really good diagram, and I'm not really good with wiring or diagrams. First order of business was to dig through my box of parts, and I dug up that, and that looks suspiciously like the plug that sticks out from some of the wiring that was left on the AC unit. And on the other side, I found that, and that looks suspiciously like the plug that sticks out of the AC compressor. And it just so happens the wire colors on these two plugs match the wiring diagram, so huzzah. So let's see if it fits. Tight fit. So this guy here, I've cut that thing open so I could see where all the wires went, because I didn't know. So this guy, it's specific with what it wants. Okay, so that guy is seated. I've made a jumper wire to run it over here, and that's going to go in right there. This purple wire is just to tell the ECU, PCM, whatever, that the AC compressor is about to kick on or has kicked on, and you need to kick the idle up a little bit so you don't kill your engine when your AC kicks on. And I'm not going to start it right now. And another thing I've done, that isn't going to kick on unless that switch is closed. Switch isn't going to close unless it sees pressure. This thing isn't going to see pressure because I ain't charged it yet. Hang on. I touched my face. So what I've done, so I've jumped the switch out. I don't have anything, I don't feel like cutting the wires and redoing them. And I didn't have anything else to clip in there, so this is going to have to do for right now. And this is a relatively low amperage circuit. I'm not really worried about it popping. So I'm going to get that away from all grounds. That's plugged in, everything's free, nothing's going to touch anything I don't want it to touch. So now I'm going to come in here. It's about to get dark. I haven't mentioned that I love this little camera for its ability to cope with weird situations. Yeah, I love this camera for being able to cope with weird situations. So what I've got, I'm going to turn the dome light on. That was ineffective. What I've got down here, that is my main power bar for running absolutely everything in the cab and, well, everywhere else. Everything comes through here to all these switches, runs under there to the fuse panel. It's a lot, yeah. I figure if you can't hide your wiring, show it off. Now, first thing I did ages and ages and ages ago, years, is I found this wire here on a 30 amp circuit, and it wants this wire here. That's what runs the blower, so I can do this. You probably can't hear it, but the blower kicked on. I couldn't get anything else under there to trigger. I found one more wire on the wiring diagram. Like I said, I'm not good with wiring diagrams. This wire here wants 15 amps. I figure I'll just run this jumper wire temporarily. It's just a proof of concept for right now, because I don't have the means to charge the AC. I just ran this jumper wire from one spare terminal I had left, because all these other ones are in use by, I have no idea what. I don't remember. I didn't label a darn thing. And I ran it up here. That's just temporary. Just temporary. I do things as properly as I know how. It's just a proof of concept at the moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn that knob right there to AC on. So what's happening here in my head, as far as I know, this switch is over and it's telling this purple wire right there that, hey, I want power. So now it's going to go, I haven't hooked it up, but it's going to tell the ECU AC's kicked on. So in theory, this guy here, I mean, I know the coil worked. I showed you how I did that. In theory, if I touched this wire right here to a ground, coil pulls in. And assuming I've got no leaks in the system, because I put the condenser in here and here. All this is new. I think I'm just going to buy an O-ring kit just to be sure, and take this apart and put all new O-rings in it. Then I need to figure out how to pull a vacuum on it and where to pull a vacuum on it, because I've never done this before, and see if the whole thing works. This is not as scary and complicated as I thought it was. I'm going to go ahead and run and hide the wires, and I'll show you how I did that. Be right back. I hate doing things more than once, and what I've done is measured incorrectly on my ground wire. So I got to cut that back open and measure it again. So much frustrating. I've got a switch in here that I'm not using, so I'm going to tap into it. It is a 15 amp switch. That should supply me the juice I need. And it's an off switch, on off toggle, so when starting the vehicle, this thing can be closed, because I don't hit any of my toggles until the vehicle started. And I don't really want two coils on the same circuit. One's a really big coil and the other one's a small coil that starts the truck, which is actually connected to a really big coil, the starter itself. So I'm going to tap into that and run the wire up to that. And it's really dark in here. I recognize that, sorry. I have got one butt connector left in the joint. that'll fit 18 gauge wire. No pressure whatsoever. Considering I mess up every third or fourth one of these that I crimp. Here we go. Will it stick? Got him. Now all that can go back together after I get this thing out of the way of my foot. I'm realizing I didn't test anything after I put it all together. There's a good chance it might not work. Voila. That's actually going to be it for today because I don't have all the right tools and material I need to finish it, but I'll show you what I did. I've got this thing wired, loomed up, nice and neat. Got my ground there, plugged in there, all that tightened up nice and neat. And you guys already saw what I did all on the inside. That's all set up and done with. We're just waiting on coolant and the tools what for putting the coolant in the thing, which is a vacuum pump and some kind of funky gauge. I don't know what the gauge thing is called. Gauges. That's it for today. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. This purple wire, near as I can tell, this purple wire is just to tell the ECM. This purple wire is... Blah! I don't know what I did. In theory, yeah, I'm touching my face.